Proxima B and the possibility of finding intelligent life. This discourse has gained some momentum recently, especially for the past 4 to 5 days, because there are several videos made on various social media platforms based on the subject, and almost all these videos are connected with two common factors. One is the James Webb telescope, and the other is Elon Musk. These two factors are discussed alongside this particular idea, finding intelligent life. In fact, there are videos that blatantly proclaim in their titles that intelligent life has been found. City lights have been photographed by James Webb telescope. And the common trend of these videos, the way these videos begin, most of them, they use at least a couple of news clips from programs like 60 Minutes and DWTV's news telecast. These are some of the common elements that you can find in these videos. Plus, obviously, a blurred out image of a distant city with obviously lights on. And we are led to believe that, at least in the thumbnail, that this is a major breakthrough and that James Webb telescope somehow captured this phenomenal image, which we will be discussing in today's commentary. Welcome to the Indian Commentator. The problem with finding intelligent life and the discussion around Proxima B is that there is little to none factual evidence at this point, even as I speak today, that suggests we actually found intelligent life there. It's a guesswork, in fact, which is quite common in the scientific community these days. They are making guesswork. In fact, it is not even an educated guess. In fact, we can call it a presumptuous attempt to frame a non-existent reality. The fact is true that James Webb telescope is giving us some phenomenal data, and Michio Kaku, renowned physicist in fact, who always comments on these borderline realities and extraordinary things, who you could see in almost all these clips related to UFOs or alien technology or whatever. He is a Nobel Prize laureate as well, I think, from what I remember. Pardon my memory if I'm wrong, but this person also has been seen in many of these videos commenting on the capacity of James Webb telescope, which is actually true. That part is true. The part that is not true, in fact, is that we are on the verge of finding intelligent life, or we already found intelligent life, or we already located intelligent life form who are driving cars, who are living in cities. That's not the reality. It's just a speculation. Like all speculations, this speculation also is based on a few discoveries, but those discoveries are just fundamental points that point us to another reality, another dimension, that more work, data collection, more scientific exploration and investigation are required into this matter. Now, we should also think about it very clearly. I mean, this is a food for thought kind of a subject, and I'm intrigued by this. That's why I decided to make a video on this. In fact, in some of these videos, Elon Musk is shown discussing so many things related to space exploration, everything. He's the one who, the previous year, 2023, almost at the same time, I think, the same month, he's the one who started this discussion on Proxima B, suggesting that it is a potentially habitable planet and that space exploration should be directed towards that planet. But that did not give him much momentum, that did not spark any intrigue alongside that idea. However, This week, the idea is like on fire because of a certain discovery apparently made by James Webb Telescope. Now, I did some Google search and I could not find the exact image that James Webb Telescope discovered or took and captured and sent us. I couldn't find it. I could not find any present statements released by Elon Musk on this subject. Any current statements I couldn't find. I could find, though, the old statement which he made in 2023, in which he is saying it's a potentially habitable planet, etc. So we have to think what these videos are directing us to. We need to think about it. We need to think why this sudden interest in a neighboring planet, or why this sudden interest in this idea of finding intelligent life on Proxima b. Well, such videos or news generation, so to speak, through social media definitely has no relation whatsoever with journalism or reality or academic studies or the scientific community for that matter. However, they obviously use scientific data to create speculation and create them in such a way that they serve the purpose of entertaining the listeners. So these are not just videos that just rehash scientific facts, but they are narratives that create a story, entertain us throughout those 5 to 10, 15 minutes, or even 20 minutes, 40 minutes, even hours. In fact, if you combine all those videos, it could make hours and hours of good entertainment that gives us hooked on the edge of our seats, and definitely we find them more and more interesting. The problem is that at the end of each video, you will find yourself wanting for a concrete answer. Yes. There's no concrete answer in none of those prominent videos that I checked. And finally, I dropped checking. I didn't check. You might say that, okay, as a commentator, it's your responsibility to go through each and every video and find out the truth. You're right, but I'm also a human being, intelligent enough to understand that when you don't have anything, when you have only an absence, which is wrapped up in a sweet candy wrapper and given to you, like a stone in a candy wrapper, like something like that we used to do as kids in school. Like we wrap stones in candy wrappers and fool our friends or classmates. It was almost like that, and you need at least that basic intelligence to understand that this is a candy wrapper wrapped around a meaningless story, a fictional story, or perhaps a marketing campaign, because this has certainly, almost all these videos are associating Mr. Musk with James Webb and the new discovery and Proxima b's potential possibility of hosting life. Now that could be a really, really interesting turn in terms of its market implications. We don't think often about the marketing side or the economic side of such campaigns. We think about it as a scientific adventure, or even a science fiction adventure, or even pseudoscience if you are that rational about these things. Like if you are that type who don't believe in aliens or UFOs or whatever and think that's just a mere speck in the camera lens or whatever, or it's just a Chinese balloon, then obviously still you might be thinking that it is pseudoscience. It's very difficult for people to actually consider the idea that these campaigns, UFO campaigns, these extraterrestrial, finding intelligent life outside Earth, all these space-related possibilities, speculations, space speculations, they all have an economic side as well. They serve the purpose of projecting a particular idea and substantiating the ideas that are connected to any or every scientific project that in one way or the other validates a particular space related scientific invention or investment. Now, scientific community definitely requires funding is very important. Now, in order to substantiate the funding for scientific exploration or invention, even related to space, because space is not a quintessential area, obviously the governments have difficulty in convincing people, the taxpayers, that they are spending so much of money on space research. It's very difficult. In that context, it is important for all of us to convince the taxpayer, as a government official or as the government itself. The biggest hurdle is to convince the taxpayer that they are spending so much of our money on space research. Now, these videos or social media campaigns help the normal, common people to understand the relevance of these projects. Maybe they are misled by thinking, okay, these people might find aliens. But even in that misleading contextualization, the taxpayer is given this position to spend his certain major amount of his tax money onto these or to these projects that work in space technology. Elon is also a person who runs business using these ideas. His ideas are exceptional, and obviously he has certainly given some amazing, wonderful technological advancements to electric cars, electric vehicles in general, and obviously space tech. Now, in order to substantiate the funding, in order to explain away the funding procedures, how much money should go into these projects, the governments also would be very happy to actually support this kind of public interest. So it is very important that these topics remain in public and hold public interest so that money can come in, so that governments don't have a problem in investing money in these projects. Because otherwise, obviously, people would say, senators or parliamentarians, if it is in India, they would say, okay, people have health issues, we have to invest money in health sector or in other sectors, like for example education and public health, public welfare in general. But in that case, the funds distributed to space research should be very, very low, right? So the simple logic behind these videos, I think we should understand this. Common people should be made aware of this. These speculations, they are being supported even by some of the mainstream media, the governments. Unlike what many people believe, that governments are often suppressing information, they hide information. It is not entirely true all the time. Sometimes governments do support these campaigns, these speculations, just so the potential for investment in these areas could be more. I think everyone should be aware of this fact. Kindly share this video with people you know who are interested in Proxima B. The latest updates on the finding life on other planets mission, and all kinds, aliens, UFOs, fantasies, whatever. Even though we delve into these fantasies consciously, thinking it's entertainment, it certainly has a market value. It doesn't just give the video creator some revenue from that social media platform. It also gives the governments and the funding agencies an opportunity to convert taxpayers' money into space projects. And space projects are also very, very important, not just for finding alien life, but also for protecting life here on Earth. We need space tech for that. More on that subject we will discuss in another video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this commentary today. Take care. The Indian Commentator signing out.